In the Shadows of History, Top 10 Sensational Facts about the Assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. In 1968, Martin Luther King Jr.'s death shocked the country and forever changed the course of American history. King was known as a Baptist minister and social activist and dedicated himself to the civil rights movement, advocating for justice and equality. While honored with the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964 and celebrated for his peaceful protests, the truth behind his assassination holds a captivating tale. Join us as we unravel 10 gripping facts that reveal the intricate and tragic events surrounding the untimely death of this visionary leader. 1. The assassination was the second attempt. The assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. unveiled a chilling truth. His life had been in constant peril. In the mid-1950s, as he fought for civil rights, a storm of death threats loomed over him. Death became an unwelcome companion on his quest for justice. In 1958, a mentally ill African-American woman, driven by delusions, attacked him in Harlem, plunging a letter opener into his chest. He survived, showcasing his unwavering resolve. The assassination of President John F. Kennedy further fueled King's foreboding. To his wife, he prophetically confided that it would happen to him too. With piercing insight, King recognized the sickness within society that would ultimately claim his life. 2. The assassinator was James Earl Ray. April 4, 1968 would forever be etched in history as the somber day when Martin Luther King Jr. fell victim to an assassin's bullet. James Earl Ray, responsible for this heinous act, had evaded justice before that fateful day. It is believed that in 1967, Ray orchestrated a daring escape from the confines of the Missouri State Penitentiary, cunningly concealing himself within a truck laden with bread, bound for freedom. This audacious escape set the stage for the tragic events unfolding. In a meticulously calculated move, James Earl Ray secured a room in a boarding house with an unobstructed view of the Lorraine Motel in Memphis, Tennessee. The Lorraine Motel held a special significance for King and his entourage, often serving as their preferred haven during their visits to the city. Little did King and those closest to him know that the Lorraine Motel, which had sheltered them in times of reflection and purpose, would soon become the site of a tragedy reverberating through the ages. 3. He was staying at Memphis's Lorraine Motel. When tragedy struck, Martin Luther King Jr. was on the Lorraine Motel's second-floor balcony. An extraordinary act of violence unfolded in an ordinary setting, forever changing history. A single, chilling shot rang out. A .30-06 bullet from a Remington Model 760 rifle found its mark with precision. The bullet tore through King's cheek, shattering his jaw and vertebrae, severing arteries in its destructive path. It came to rest on his shoulder, leaving devastation in its wake. King crumpled backward, unconscious, robbed of his iconic presence. Urgently, he was rushed to St. Joseph's, his life hanging by a thread. The medical team fought bravely, undertaking emergency surgery to mend the unimaginable damage. Yet, despite their heroism, fate dealt its final blow. At 7:05 p.m., a solemn pronouncement resounded, a declaration of the irreversible loss of a visionary, a leader, and a beacon of hope. 4. His assassination led to major outbreaks of looting, arson, and violence. The news of King's assassination sparked widespread outbreaks of looting, arson, and violence, which caused numerous casualties and extensive property damage in over 100 cities across the United States. In New York City, Mayor John Lindsay's direct response to the black residents in Harlem played a crucial role in preventing major riots, although minor disturbances still occurred. Similarly, Senator Robert F. Kennedy's speech in Indianapolis successfully averted a riot there. At the same time, a James Brown concert in Boston may have helped prevent rioting in that city. In Los Angeles, the police department collaborated with community activists to prevent the reoccurrence of the devastating 1965 riots. However, Washington, D.C. witnessed some of the most severe consequences, with rampant looting and fires leading to the city's occupation by federal troops. Other cities such as Chicago, Baltimore, Kansas City, Detroit, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Trenton, Wilmington, and Louisville also experienced riots and disturbances during this tumultuous period. The riots resulted in significant damage to properties, loss of jobs, and heightened racial tensions in these urban centers. In total, 43 individuals tragically lost their lives, approximately 3,500 were injured, and a staggering 27,000 were arrested. Only when more than 58,000 National Guardsmen and Army troops joined forces with local and state police units did the uprisings finally end. 5. James Earl Ray was imprisoned in Brushy Mountain State Penitentiary. Following the shooting of King, James Earl Ray managed to escape, instantly becoming a wanted fugitive on the FBI's most wanted list. However, his days as a fugitive ended on June 8, 1968, when he was apprehended at London's Heathrow Airport, marking the culmination of an intense 2-month international chase. Subsequently, on March 10, 1969, Ray entered a guilty plea for the murder of Martin Luther King Jr. and received a severe sentence of 99 years in the formidable confines of Brushy Mountain State Penitentiary. Hidden among the steep mountains, this maximum security jail was famed for harboring some of the region's most notorious offenders. Health complications marked Ray's time behind bars. Tragically, on April 23, 1998, at 70, he succumbed to kidney and liver failure caused by hepatitis C. 6. There was no testimony in Ray's trial. A noteworthy absence loomed throughout James Earl Ray's trial: the lack of any testimonies provided. This peculiar aspect only fueled the intrigue surrounding the case. In a surprising turn of events, Ray later recanted his previous confession and asserted that he was, in fact, a victim of a grand conspiracy. Such claims added complexity to the perplexing circumstances surrounding Martin Luther King Jr.'s tragic assassination. In a display of compassion and a pursuit of truth, members of King's family, including his son Dexter, publicly met with Ray in 1977. Their encounters ignited a passionate plea for the reopening of Ray's case, with hopes of unearthing any overlooked evidence or potential collaborators. However, despite these efforts, government investigations ultimately concluded that Ray acted alone as the assassin. Ironically, in that same year, 1977, Ray was thrust into the FBI's most wanted fugitive list once again. He was not acting alone in his audacious escape this time. Alongside 6 other convicts, Ray managed to break free from the confines of Brushy Mountain State Penitentiary, further amplifying the intensity surrounding his already infamous name. However, his taste of freedom proved short-lived, as law enforcement apprehended him 3 days later. The consequences of Ray's audacious escape were swift and unyielding. Adding to his already substantial sentence, he received an additional year of imprisonment, bringing his punishment to 100 years. 7. Ben Branch, a musician, received King's final words. According to the insightful biography by Taylor Branch, the final words uttered by Martin Luther King Jr. were directed towards the talented musician Ben Branch. In a poignant exchange, King requested that Branch perform a heartfelt rendition of the cherished song, "Take My Hand, Precious Lord," during the upcoming gathering. It was a poignant and symbolic choice, resonating deeply with the historical significance of the moment. While Ben Branch is widely recognized for his role as a jazz tenor saxophonist and band leader, he also made his mark as an American entrepreneur. However, his connection to the fateful events of 1968 has etched his name indelibly in the annals of history. As fate would have it, Branch had the honor of being the last person to converse with Martin Luther King Jr. mere moments before the tragic assassination occurred. 8. He stayed at the motel with a friend in the King Abernathy Suite. Reverend Ralph Abernathy, a trusted confidant and influential figure in Martin Luther King Jr.'s life, revealed an intriguing detail during his testimony before the House Select Committee on Assassinations. Abernathy disclosed that he and King had frequented room 306 at the Lorraine Motel so frequently that it had earned the nickname King Abernathy Suite. Abernathy's collaboration with King and E.D. Nixon yielded significant outcomes in the civil rights movement. Together, they laid the foundation for the Montgomery Improvement Association. This pivotal organization was central in initiating the historic Montgomery bus boycott. This nonviolent protest, driven by the indomitable spirit of the African American community, challenged the unjust segregation policies of the time. Additionally, Abernathy's influence extended to his involvement as a co-creator and executive board member of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, SCLC. This organization, founded after the Montgomery bus boycott, became a powerful force in advocating for civil rights and equality throughout the United States. 9. Doctors perform cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Cardiopulmonary resuscitation, CPR, is a critical emergency procedure that aims to sustain brain function by applying rhythmic chest compressions and providing artificial ventilation. Its purpose is to manually support blood circulation and oxygen flow to the body's vital organs during cardiac arrest. CPR is an immediate intervention until additional measures can be taken to restore natural breathing and blood circulation. In King's case, when he was urgently brought to St. Joseph's Hospital, the medical team swiftly took action by performing CPR. This involved opening his chest and applying the necessary compressions and ventilation to stimulate his heart and lungs. Despite their best efforts, King did not regain consciousness, and sadly, he passed away at 7:05 p.m. 10. The conspiracy surrounding his assassination. The sudden and sorrowful death of President John F. Kennedy that occurred in 1963 and Martin Luther King Jr. in 1968 prompted the establishment of the U.S. House Select Committee on Assassination in 1976. The committee's extensive inquiry led to significant findings regarding King's assassination, suggesting the presence of a possible conspiracy. It concluded in 1979 that James Earl Ray, the convicted assassin, may have been made a scapegoat in the case. Fast forward to 1999, when a civil suit took place in Memphis. A diverse jury, comprising individuals of different racial backgrounds, reached a unanimous verdict that shed new light on King's assassination. According to their deliberations, King's death resulted from a conspiracy involving not only the U.S. government, but also a person named Raoul, among others. The decision led Coretta King, Martin Luther King Jr.'s widow, to claim ample proof of a significant, high-level conspiracy in her husband's murder. The jury's findings indicated the involvement of organized crime and various local, state, and federal government agencies which were deeply intertwined in the tragic event. Furthermore, the jury believed that James Earl Ray had been manipulated and wrongly made to shoulder the blame for the assassination. And that concludes our gripping journey through the top 10 sensational facts surrounding the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to press that like button and subscribe for more content like this.